A man asked why an old lady was all alone on a cruise ship. He noticed that although she was alone, all the staff, ship's officers, waiters and busboys were very familiar with her. So he asked the waiter who the lady was, expecting to be told she owned the line, but all the waiter knew was that she was on the last 4 cruises, back to back. As he left the dining room one evening, he caught her eye and stopped to say hello. They chatted and he asked, "I understand you've been on this ship for the last 4 cruises." She replied, "Yes, that's true." He said, "I don't understand," and she replied, without a pause, "It's cheaper than a nursing home, so there will be no nursing home in my future. I'm staying on this cruise. The average cost for a nursing home is $200 per day. Here, I can get a long-term discount and senior discount price of $135 per day. That leaves $65 a day for tips and extra cash. I have it made here. I can have as many as 10 meals a day of fantastic food or room service, which means I can have breakfast in bed every day of the week. I get free pools, a workout room, free washers and dryers, and shows every night. I get free toothpaste, razors, and free soap and shampoo. They will even treat you like a customer, not a patient. An extra $5 worth of tips will have the entire staff scrambling to help you. I get to meet new people every 7 or 14 days. TV broken, light bulb need changing, need to have the matters replaced. No problem, they will fix everything and apologize for your inconvenience. Clean sheets and towels every day, and you don't even have to ask for them. There is always a doctor on board. This is how I want to live the end of my life." Very heart-touching, a bit of truth. An old man took his phone to a repair shop. Repairer told the old man that nothing is wrong with his phone. Old man, with tears in his eyes, said that then why don't my children ever call me? A carpenter went home after shutting down his workshop. When he was gone, a poisonous snake entered his workshop. The snake was hungry and hoped to find his supper lurking somewhere within. It slithered from one end to another. Finally, it bumped into an axe and got very slightly injured. In anger and revenge, the snake bit the snake with full force. What could a snake's bite do to the metallic axe? Instead, the snake's mouth started bleeding. Out of fury and arrogance, the snake tried its best to strangle and kill the metallic axe, the object that was causing it the pain, by wrapping itself around the axe. The next day, the carpenter opened the workshop. He found the dead snake wrapped around the blades of the axe. Here the snake did not die because of someone's fault, but it faced these consequences merely because of its own anger and wrath. Sometimes when angry, we try to cause harm to others. But as time passes by, we realize that we cause more harm to ourselves. It is not necessary that we react to everything. Step back and ask ourselves if the matter is really worth responding to. Once there was a young boy with a fiery temper. His father, seeking to teach him a lesson, handed him a bag of nails. He instructed the boy that whenever he lost his temper, he must drive a nail into the fence. On the first day, the boy angrily pounded 37 nails into the fence. But as days passed and he learned to control his anger, the number of nails he drove in decreased. He realized it was easier to keep his temper than to damage the fence. Eventually, the boy achieved a day without losing his temper. Proudly, he informed his father, who suggested that for each temper-free day, the boy should remove 1 nail. As time went on, the boy succeeded in pulling out all the nails. The father then took his son to the fence. "You've done well," he said, "but look at the holes. They remain, just like the scars from hurtful words said in anger. Apologies can erase them. Remember, you can remove a knife, but the wound it caused still lingers." Mukesh and Anil joined a company together a few months after their graduation from university. After a few years of work, their manager promoted Mukesh to a position of senior sales manager, but Anil remained in his entry-level junior sales officer position. Anil developed a sense of jealousy and disgruntlement, but continued working anyway. One day Anil felt that he could not work with Mukesh anymore. He wrote his resignation letter, but before he submitted it to the manager, he complained that management did not value hard-working staff, but only promoted the favored. The manager knew that Anil worked very hard for the years he had spent at the company, even harder than Mukesh, and therefore he deserved the promotion. So in order to help Anil to realize this, the manager gave Anil a task. Go and find out if anyone is selling watermelons in town. Anil returned and said, "Yes, there is someone." The manager asked how much per kg. Anil drove back to town to ask and then returned to inform the manager, "There are 13.50 per kg. The manager told Anil, "I will give Mukesh the same task that I gave you. Please pay close attention to his response." So the manager said to Mukesh, in the presence of Anil, "Go and find out if anyone is selling watermelons in town." Mukesh went to find out, and on his return he said, "Manager, there is only one person selling watermelons in the whole town. The cost is R49.0 each watermelon and R3,250 for a half melon. He sells them at R13.50 per kg when sliced. He has in his stock 93 melons, each one weighing about 7 kg. He has a farm and can supply us with melons for the next 4 months at a rate of 102 melons per day at R27.0 per melon. This includes delivery. The melons appear fresh and red with good quality, and they taste better than the ones we sold last year. He has his own slicing machine and is willing to slice for us free of charge. We need to strike a deal with him before 10 am tomorrow, and we will be sure of beating last year's profits in melons by up 123.0. This will contribute positively to our overall performance, as it will add a minimum of 3.78% to our current overall sales target. I've put this information down in writing and is available on spreadsheet. Please let me know if you need it, as I can send it to you in 15 minutes. Anil was very impressed and realized the difference between himself and Mukesh. He decided not to resign but to learn from Mukesh. As we begin this fresh year, let this story help us keep in mind the importance of going an extra mile in all our endeavors. You won't be rewarded for doing what you're meant to do, you only get a salary for that. You're only rewarded for going an extra mile, performing beyond expectations. Mala lived at Kirno village in Pujikota district with her family. Mala was studying in class VI. She was 11 years old. She had 2 elder sisters and a younger brother. His name was Errol. Mala's father was Catherval. Catherval was a hard-working farmer. Of late, the rains were irregular and he could not always cultivate the 2 acres they owned. Her eldest sister was Pony. Pony was married to a mason and lived in Mathur with her little son Vikram. Mala's second sister was Malika. Malika decided to do tailoring after Class X and was attending a tailoring course in Mathur. Attending the course also gave Malika a chance to visit her sister Pony. But walking all the way made her tired and she often missed the tailoring classes. Her mother used to scold Malika. "Oh, why are you so lazy? You must attend your classes regularly." Malika would reply, "I walk 9 kilometers every day, 4 kilometers to the tailoring classes, 2 kilometers to fetch water, and 3 kilometers to take lunch for father. When you are busy, you cannot call me lazy." In fact, nobody in the home was lazy. Mala would walk 1 kilometer with her friends to school and back. She and her friends would chat and play all the way back. One day, when Errol and Mala had just come back from school, her father came in looking upset. He said to his wife, "Shanthite, it seems that the collector is not satisfied with teaching only Maths and Tamil. She even wants women to learn cycling." Mala was excited. She asked, "Father, is it only for mother? Can I learn?" Malika was interested too. She said, "If there is anyone who needs bicycle, it is me." Errol said, "This is really good. I can teach both of you to cycle if you buy me a cycle." Their father was angry. "Keep quiet," he said. "No woman in my house will learn to cycle." A week passed. What their father had heard was true. Women were being taught to cycle at all. In many homes across the villages in Pujikotai district, there was a lot of discussion on women learning to cycle. In Kirano too, women beginning to use bicycle to do many things. One day, Shanthai told Malika softly, "Borrow Radham's old bicycle and bring it here. We are going to learn to ride it." When Mala's father returned, he saw Malika smiling widely and guessed why. He said gruffly, "All right, but be careful." He looked at Shanthai and smiled. "Have you started learning?" "Yes," she said. "It takes things much easier." Malika was busy, dreaming of the future. She saw herself riding a brand new bicycle along the smooth long road to school and to college, and then who knows? Maybe even on a rainbow to the clouds. Only those who are capable of being alone are capable of love. The capacity to be alone is the capacity to love. It may look paradoxical to you, but it is not. It is an existential truth. Only those people who are capable of being alone are capable of love, of sharing, of going into the deepest core of the other person without possessing the other, without becoming dependent on the other, without reducing the other to a thing, and without becoming addicted to the other. They allow the other absolute freedom, because they know that if the other leaves, they will be as happy as they are now. Their happiness cannot be taken by the other, because it is not given by the other. Once upon a time there was a huge apple tree. A little boy used to come to play near the tree. He would search for juicy apples. He would play alongside the tree and rest under the shade. The tree was overjoyed after meeting this little bundle of joy. One day, the tree was surprised to see that boy approaching it with a sad face. "Come on, little boy. Play with me," the tree asked the boy. "I am no longer a kid to play around tree like you," the boy scowled at the tree. "But I need toys. I need money to buy toys of various designs and sizes," the boy told the tree. "Sorry, my dear boy. I do not have money to give you. But you can pick all my apples and sell them. That will give you adequate money to buy toys of your choices," replied the tree in a soothing voice. The boy grabbed all the apples and left happily. He sold the apples and got money. He bought toys of his choices. Spring bade adieu and autumn came by, but there was no sign of the boy. One morning, the tree saw its friend. That little boy had grown up into a big man. "Come and play with me," the tree said. "I cannot play. I have family now. We need a house for shelters. Can you help me?" the man replied. "Sorry, I do not have any house. But you can chop off my branches to build your house," the tree told the man. The man cut all the branches of the tree and left happily. The tree was glad to see his friend smiling again. The man returned one evening to the apple tree. "Come and play with me," the tree asked the man. "I am getting old. I want to go sailing to relax myself." "Can you give me a boat?" the man asked the apple tree. "Use my trunk to build your boat," the tree told the man. He cut off the trunk and made a boat out of it. He went sailing and never showed up for a long time. The man returned after many years. "Sorry, my boy, but no, I do not have anything to offer to you. I have nothing for you anymore. No more apples. No more branches, no more trunks for you to climb on," the tree said with a pain in his voice. "No problem. I too do not have any teeth to bite, and I am too old to climb trees," the man replied. "I just need a place to rest after all these days," the man replied. "Old tree roots are the best place to lean on. Come on and sit down with me and rest," the apple tree replied with a concern in its voice. The old man sat down. The apple tree was glad and smiled with tears. This is the story of every person. The tree is like our parents. When we were young, we could not have imagined our life without them. But as we grow up, we leave them. No matter what, parents will always be there and give us everything to make us happy. As a child, Monty Roberts was the son of a horse trainer and moved from stable to stable, from ranch to ranch, training horses. The boy's schooling was constantly interrupted. One day, when he was a senior, his teacher asked him to write about what he wanted to be when he grew up. He did not hesitate and wrote a 7-page paper about his aim to be an owner of a horse ranch. It was a detailed paper with the location of buildings, stables, and even a house plan. 2 days later, he received his paper back with an F on the front page. After class, he asked his teacher why he received such a low score. The teacher told him, "This dream is unrealistic for a boy like you, who has no money, no resources, and who comes from an itinerant family. There is no possibility that you will reach this goal." Then the teacher offered him the opportunity to rewrite the paper with a more realistic attitude. The boy went home and asked his father how he should respond. His father told him, "This is a very important decision, so you must come to your own conclusion." After several days, the boy brought the same paper to his teacher. No changes were made. He told his teacher, "Keep the F and I will keep my dream." Monty Roberts went on to own a 4,000-square-foot house in the middle of 200-acre horse ranch. He framed the paper he wrote and hung it over his fireplace. Always remember to follow your heart and never listen to those who do not believe in your ability to achieve your dreams. Hercules was a strong and brave man. He lived in Greece. The king was jealous of Hercules. People might make Hercules the king. Therefore, he wanted to get rid of Hercules. He set difficult tasks for Hercules to keep him away from the country so that he would not be a possible threat to him, the king. Once he asked Hercules to get 3 golden apples. Some trees were said to bear golden apples. These trees were said to be in a place called Hesperides. But no one knew the way to Hesperides. So the king thought of Hesperides. Hercules would be away for a longer period. Hercules set out on the journey. At first he met 3 maidens during the journey. Hercules asked them the way to Hesperides. They told him to ask the old man of the sea. But they also warned him, "Hold the old man of the sea tightly. Otherwise he will escape. No one else knows the way." Hercules saw the old man. He was sleeping on the shore. He was looking strange. He had long hair and a beard. Hercules walked to him without making any noise. Then he seized him very firmly. The old man of the sea opened his eyes. He was surprised. He changed himself into a stag. He tried to free himself from the grip of Hercules, but Hercules held him tight. Then the old man changed himself into a sea bird and then to other animal forms. But he could not free himself from the clutches of Hercules, because Hercules was making his clutches tighter and tighter. Finally the old man said to Hercules, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" Hercules replied, "I am Hercules. Tell me the way to Hesperides." The old man said, "It is an island. Go along the seashore. You will meet a giant. He will show you the way to Hesperides." Hercules continued his journey. He met the giant. The giant was very huge and strong. He was sleeping on the shore. Hercules woke him up. The giant was angry. He struck Hercules with a club. Hercules charged at the giant. He lifted the giant and threw him down, but the giant got up immediately. He had become 10 times stronger. Hercules threw him down again and again, but each time the giant rose up much stronger. Then Hercules lifted the giant high up in the air, but he did not throw him down. The giant slowly lost all his strength. He now pleaded with Hercules to put him down on the earth. Hercules asked him to tell the way to Hesperides. The giant asked Hercules to meet Atlas. He told him the way to the place where Atlas was. Hercules continued his journey. He at last met Atlas. "Why do you want the golden apples?" asked Atlas. "My king has ordered me to get him these 3 golden apples," said Hercules. "It is a long way from here to that place. Only I can go there." "Hold the sky for me, I shall get them for you," said Atlas. Hercules agreed. He held the sky on his shoulders. Atlas walked away. He was back in a short time. He put down the 3 golden apples at the foot of Hercules. Hercules thanked Atlas. He requested Atlas to take back the sky from him. "Take back the sky," said Atlas cunningly. "I have held it for 1,000 years. I shall come back after another 1,000 years. Hercules was astonished at what Atlas told him, but he did not express his astonishment. He recovered his senses and replied, "Oh, in that case, will you please hold the sky for a little while? I shall make a pad for my shoulders to support the sky. Then I shall take back the sky from you." Thus Hercules talked very quietly. Atlas agreed. Atlas took back the sky from Hercules. Hercules immediately collected the 3 golden apples. He bid Atlas goodbye with a mischievous smile on his face. He walked away towards Greece, leaving Atlas speechless and surprised. Hercules reached his home in Greece after many days of travel. He gave the 3 golden apples to the king. The king was surprised to have got the golden apples from Hercules. He was happy, but he pretended not to have been satisfied. But he was planning to send Hercules away on another perilous adventure.